Good morning children, Sairam. Children, I am starting with the fourth chapter of chemistry, that is chemical bonding and molecular structure. Today in this chapter we will be studying the chemical bonds, the types of chemical bonds, why chemical bond formation takes place, the Lewis electron dot structure and the molecular structures of the molecule, the three-dimensional structures of the molecule. Now children, first of all I am starting with the chemical bond. What actually is a chemical bond? A chemical bond is a attractive force which holds the two atoms together. The atoms may be ions or atoms. The constituent particles may be ions or atom. Like for example, in chlorine molecule, in the chlorine molecule, two atoms of chlorine are present, Cl atom and Cl atom. Two atoms of chlorine are present in the chlorine molecule. The two chlorine atoms come together and form a chemical bond. This chemical bond holds the two atoms together and result in the formation of a molecule. Now according to Lewis, the atoms, they form the chemical bond in order to have the fully filled outermost shell, which is also called the stable octet. I hope you all remember the octet rule you have learned in standard 10th. The atoms have an urge to have the stable octet. Stable octet means the fully filled outermost shell. And in order to gain a fully filled outermost shell, what they do? They form chemical bond. Now, how chemical bond formation takes place? It takes place in two different manners, by either sharing or by transfer of electrons. Now, what is sharing of electron? A chemical bond which is formed by the sharing of electron is called, it is not atoms, it is electrons. The chemical bond which is formed by the sharing of electrons is called a covalent bond, and the chemical bond which is formed by the transfer of electron is called an ionic bond, also called the electrovalent bond. Now, how the sharing and transfer takes place? Let us study in detail. We are studying actually the types of covalent bond. Here only you will learn how the sharing of electron or transfer of electron takes place. Not transfer, only the sharing. Now, there are three types of covalent bond. The first one I am taking is the single covalent bond. Now, children, let us take an example of chlorine molecule. For chlorine, the atomic number is 17 and the electronic configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. So, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 2, 17. 17 electrons are present, but out of the 17 electrons, the last 7 electrons are present in the third shell, that is the outermost shell. So, we are drawing the Lewis electron dot structure for the molecule here now. We are having 7 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now, in order to have fully filled outermost shell, this chlorine needs to have 6 electrons here. That means a total of 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So, in order to have 8 electron, it will combine, and now if you count the number of electrons with this chlorine, there are 8 electrons. Similarly, with the other chlorine also, there are 8 electrons. So, both the chlorine atoms will become stable by sharing of one electron pair, and this sharing of one electron pair is called a single covalent bond. Now, coming to the double covalent bond. A double covalent bond is formed by the sharing of two electron pairs, like for example in oxygen molecule. For oxygen, the atomic number is 8. Configuration for oxygen will be equal to 1s2, 2s2, 2p4, which is the outermost shell now. Yes. Second shell is the outermost shell, and 4 plus 2, 6 electrons are there in the outermost shell. Now, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now in order to have fully filled octet, these two oxygen atoms need to have 8 electrons, but they have 6. So what they will do? They will form a double bond. 2 electron pairs are shared between the two. Now if you count, this oxygen is having 8 electrons. The shared pair of electron will be counted with both the atoms. So that is why it is called the shared pair. So this is your Lewis electron dot structure for a double covalent bond. Now coming to the triple covalent bond. Example of a triple covalent bond is between two nitrogen atoms in a nitrogen molecule. For nitrogen, the atomic number is 7. Configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, which is the outermost shell, second shell. How many electrons are present in the outermost shell? 3 plus 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now, in order to have fully filled outermost shell, it needs to have 8 electrons. For 8 electron, what it will do? It will make a triple bond. Now, count the number of electrons with this nitrogen. 2, 4, 6 plus 2, 8. Similarly, the other nitrogen is also having 8 electrons. This is your Lewis electron dot structure for chlorine, oxygen and nitrogen we have discussed. And you also must have got to know how this sharing of electron is taking place. Now coming to the second type of a chemical bond, that is the ionic or the electrovalent bond. Now children, an ionic bond, also called the electrovalent bond, is formed by the transfer of electron. For example, for sodium chloride molecule NaCl. For chlorine, just now we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 electrons are there in the outermost shell. And sodium is having atomic number 11. Configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 1. 11 electrons are there. Outermost shell is the third shell. In the third shell only 1 electron is there. Now if suppose sodium gives this 1 electron, then its outermost shell will be second shell and the octet will also be completed. So what will happen? Sodium will give this 1 electron to magnesium and will attain the fully filled octet, and chlorine, after taking that 1 electron, will complete its octet. Now, due to this, there will be a formation of positive charge on chlorine and positive charge on sodium and negative charge on chlorine. And the two charges are opposite, so will attract each other. This will result in the formation of attraction between Na positive and Cl negative and will be called the ionic or the electrovalent bond. Now, there are certain limitations of the octet rule. I have told you that the atoms, they form the chemical bond in order to have the fully filled octet, but there is a limitation in the octet rule. Like for example, the first limitation is the incomplete octet of the central atom. Now children, there are certain compounds in which the number of electrons surrounding the central atom is less than 8. Here, whatever example we have discussed, in all those examples, the bonded atoms were having 8 electrons in the outermost shell. But now, there is a limitation in which we will discuss those atoms in which the outermost shell is not having 8 electrons, it is having less than 8 electrons. This is especially the case with elements having less than 4 valence electrons. Like for example, LiCl. LiCl is a stable compound, but its octet is incomplete. In LiCl, you all know that lithium, the atomic number is 3, 1s2, 2s1. In 2s subshell, only one electron is there, and chlorine is having one electron in the outermost shell. Still, lithium, after giving one electron to chlorine, it will not form a proper type of ionic compound, but still the octet is incomplete for lithium. Why? It is not having 8 electron, it is having only 2 electrons in the outermost shell. Still the compound exists and is stable also. Similar is the example of BCl3. In BCl3, Cl, Cl, Cl. Beryllium, the central atom, is having the incomplete octet. Like beryllium, the atomic number is 4, configuration is 1s2, 2s2. This is the electronic configuration of, sorry, we are not discussing BCl, I was talking about BCl3. Boron is present in the center and 3 chlorine atoms are surrounding the boron atom. Now boron, the atomic number is 5, configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Total 3 electrons, 1, 2 and 3. Now chlorine is having 7 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Similar is the case with this chlorine, similar is the case with this chlorine. Now they will form single covalent bond with the boron which is present at the center and will form the stable BCl3 compound. But if we see the valency or we see the octet of the boron, it is still having only 6 electrons. Still the compound is stable. This is one of the exception, or you can say the limitation of the octet rule. Another limitation is in case of the odd electron molecule. An example of an odd electron molecule is NO2 molecule. In NO2 molecule also there is one electron which is unpaired. It is not forming bond with any other atom. Here for both the oxygen the octet will be complete, but for nitrogen the octet is incomplete. Still NO2 molecule is stable. Actually not stable, it dimerizes and form N2O4. Another limitation of the octet rule is the expanded octets. Expanded octets, we can take the example of PF5. Phosphorus, 15 is the atomic number, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. So 5 plus 2, 7 electrons are present in the outermost shell. Still phosphorus is forming 5 bonds with 5 different fluorine atoms. So the number of electrons in the outermost shell increase. Similar is the case with SF6, H2SO4. We'll discuss all these in detail when we'll reach the theory of Vesper's theory. We'll discuss in detail. These are the limitations, you kindly note down. Now the next important thing that I am starting with is the bond parameters. We have learned about the bonds. There are 2 types of bond, the covalent bond and the ionic bond. Covalent bond is formed by the sharing of electron. Ionic bond is formed by the transfer of electron. And the bond formation, why it is taking place? Because of the octet rule, in order to have the urge to have the fully filled outermost shell. Now we are discussing about the bond parameters. What all things we should be knowing about the bond? The first one is bond length. What is bond length? Bond length is defined as the equilibrium distance between the nuclei of the 2 bonded atoms in a molecule. Children, in the previous chapter we have discussed the covalent radii and the van der Waals radii. Here when we are talking about the bond length, we are actually talking about the covalent or the ionic, or you can say the van der Waals radii, which I have discussed is the measure of half of the internuclear distance of the 2 bonded atom. I have told you covalent radius is measured approximately as the radius of the atom's core which is in contact with the core of an adjacent atom. Similarly, van der Waals radii also is the half of the internuclear distance. Now coming to the bond angle. What is meant by the bond angle? It is actually the angle between the orbitals containing electron pair around the central atom in a molecule. For example, in a water molecule, the two orbitals which are having the bonded pair of electron, the angles formed between the two orbitals is called the bond angle. Now, third important thing is the bond enthalpy, means bond energy. What is bond energy? It is the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a bond of a particular type between two atoms in the gaseous state. It is measured in kilojoule per mole. Now, children, bond order is actually the energy which is required to break the bond or which is released when the bond is formed. When bond is formed, energy is given out. Either we take that energy, or when the bond is broken, we have to apply energy. We can take that energy also. It is called the bond enthalpy. The fourth important point is bond order. Bond order means the number of bonds. Like for example, in Cl, one single bond is there, so bond order will be 1. In O2 molecule, there were 2 bonds formed between 2 oxygen atoms, so the bond order will be 2. And in case of nitrogen atom, there were 3 bonds formed between the 2 nitrogen atoms, so it will be, bond order will be 3. It is just the number of bonds. Now children, what you have to remember is, with the increase in bond order, suppose Cl atoms are combined through a single bond. When bond order is less, bond enthalpy will be more and bond length will decrease. With the increase in bond order, wait, just a minute. O, 2 bonds are formed, and in case of nitrogen molecule, 3 bonds are formed. Now see, a single bond, that means the bond order is less. The bond length will be more, bond enthalpy will be less. That means the long bond is weaker. Shorter bond is stronger. With the increase in bond order, the bond enthalpy also increases and the bond length decreases. A single bond will be long, a double bond will be shorter, and a triple bond will be shortest. The triple bond will have more energy, double bond will have lesser energy, and single bond will have least energy. This correlation between bond length, bond order, bond enthalpy, you have to remember. Bond length increases, bond enthalpy decreases. Bond order also is less when the bond length is more. So, kindly do remember all these points. Do note it down in your fair notebook, and we'll start with the next topic in the next presentation. Thank you and Sai Ram.